Imagine world suddenly plunged into an ice age. Outside, temperatures have dropped to a steady minus 60 degrees Celsius. In such conditions, heat and food have become the most valuable resources in the frozen concrete jungle of South Korea. The survivors initially tried to survive together, but quickly realized that there weren't enough resources for everyone, and then a real war broke out in the cold corridors of apartment buildings. But amid all this chaos, there is one guy, Hang Feng, who is fearless in his fortified base with heat, girls, and plenty of food. He is a regressor who not only went back in time before the apocalypse began and prepared himself properly, but also gained superpowers that allow him to clone and increase the size of food. He didn't stop there, and later built himself a real fortified base with heat, greenhouses, and even a sauna. So, how did it all begin? Let's find out. The transmission cuts off into silence and is replaced by the roaring voice of someone calling out Han Feng. The guy is making his way to open the door while quivering in the cold. Peeping through the hole, he discovers that it's actually his crush, Hyona, who can't stand being in the cold and can barely talk. He opens the door without hesitation to see if she's doing all right and quickly invites her inside. In an unexpected turn of events, Hyona leaps up to kiss him. Much to Han Feng's shock and amazement, she's out here putting an effort in the kiss because by the end of it, bro is at a loss for words and can't describe what's gotten into her all of a sudden. Keep in mind, she was supposed to be his crush, so the dude is probably feeling like a gigachad on the inside for finally scoring a win. It's at this moment Fiona confesses her feelings, stating how she's always loved him. After descending balls deep into a terrifying apocalypse, she has begun to understand that someone like him truly cares about others. To sell her point even more, Fiona makes him touch her body so that he can sense her racing heartbeat, stating that she's ready to do anything with him. And yes, that's the honey trap that our guy ends up falling for. Because while he's busy out here imagining the birds and the bees, Hyona doubles down on rubbing her thigh between his legs, causing him to get even more lost and careless in his feelings. He also shares his feelings right back, stating that while she truly means the world to him, it doesn't make sense for them to behave this way right now. Hyona is an excellent manipulator because she tells our boy to close his eyes so that he can enjoy the process. Full of joy, he closes his eyes, questioning what's going to happen next. He's probably got the excitement of a child while this is happening. But then, well, dude's first kiss with his crush is followed up by his skull getting bashed by her bastard boyfriend. A heavy smash against his head leaves his body in a puddle of blood. Poor guy is quivering in pain while Hyona expresses her terror. She wasn't expecting them to actually murder someone in cold blood, but her boyfriend reminds the bitch that she can't play innocent when from the beginning they both understood this guy had to go. They weren't going to spare Han Feng, not when everyone in this world is out for themselves in the apocalypse. Instead of caring about him, they expressed their happiness having discovered Han Feng's resources and loot. As for the nice guy who tried to show someone kindness, well, he's eating shit right now, drenched in his own blood and unable to move. The clinging of death succumbs to him, and the last thing he sees is Hyuna getting excited with her man. His demise happened all because of one ruthless woman's planning, so in his final moment, he makes a vow. If he's given a second chance, he's going to stop being someone else's toy to be used and discarded. As his consciousness fades to black, the terrifying feeling is replaced by a shimmer warm light, drawing him near and near. At first, he thinks it's a way for him to get into heaven, but then his innocent expectations are tarnished as his spiritual body experiences a world of pain and bursts into 100 pieces. By the end of that traumatizing sequence, he jolts up awake from his bed. His face is full of sweat, and he questions his surroundings. Han Feng was just fading away just a few seconds ago, and now he's okay? It's not just that he's fine. The world is fine too. There's no signs of an apocalypse. The sun is warm even after 30 minutes of waiting. It's the kind of warmth that he never expected to see again. From the calendar, Han Feng checked and learned that today was June 28th. The date of the apocalypse in the original timeline is supposed to start on July 15th. This means that he had a post-death regression that led him to arrive back in time just a few weeks before the apocalypse. The feeling of shock, amazement, and confusion all show up on his face. He clearly wasn't expecting to be reborn, but this time, he's returned with a few changes. Let's talk about that glowing red hand for a second. Ever since Han Feng regained consciousness, this guy's hand just can't stop glowing red. He tries waving it off, and yet nothing happens. To describe the sensation, the glow feels warm and it doesn't hurt or anything. At first, he thought that his mind was playing tricks on the guy, but then Han Feng sneezed out of nowhere, leading to yet another intriguing development. The same hand that was red a second ago is now glowing a bright green, adding even more to his confusion. But there's a difference this time because Han Feng actually loses control of the magnitude of his glowing power, causing it to get even bigger. In a state of hurry and panic, he stands there, looking lost at his newfound problem. The radiating glow out of nowhere starts shrinking in his hand. The behavior of the glowing effect is odd and different from the red one. Taking a seat, he expresses his sudden drop in energy. Yeah. Ever since the green one activated, his body has been more drained than ever. Frustratingly waving his hand in anger, Han Feng comes to a sudden realization. This is exactly happening just like those awesome manhwa stories he likes to read. In the same fashion, the main character is reborn, and this time with overpowered abilities. So in order to test his own, bro pulls out a damn knife hoping for some miracle to happen, but funnily, nothing goes his way as the blade doesn't react and he's standing there looking like a clown. Not to mention his tummy is grumbling because of the energy loss he experienced. Checking his fridge turns out to be a waste of time because there's just nothing in there. The situation is growing more troublesome for him than he thought. He has to eat at least something or he's going to risk going unconscious again. An idea comes to mind when he spots a jar of roasted soybeans, the only snacks that could be feasibly used in the apocalypse. Even though it's not a proper meal, it's filling enough for now. Reaching for one of the beans, he pops one in his mouth. But the moment he does that, the soybean explodes into a fully grown bean plant. His radiating, glowing green hand is gone, and so is his exhaustion. Han Feng doesn't get if it had something to do with the soybeans or if it's something he did. He grabs and pops open one of the bean sprouts, amazed to discover that this is his new power. Han Feng is impressed and wants to study it intensely. But with his current state, he has a couple of issues to take care of firsthand. First up is stocking up on supplies so he doesn't go short during the apocalypse. To the supermarket he goes. In the next scene, he's navigating through a busy crowd, all of them lost in their thoughts and chattering about. Han Feng is confused and collects his thoughts. So far, he's got 2 types of radiating hands, and the green one is known to be more unstable, causing him added effects of exhaustion. Then there's the last part, perhaps the most interesting of the bunch. The moment he touched the soybeans with his glowing hand, they became proper bean sprouts. He still can't figure out the specifics of his power, causing his frustration. While he's lost in thought, a familiar voice graces his ears. Hyona, the same bitch that betrayed him in his previous life, is here to see him. She's drop-dead gorgeous, but that's the thing. Getting involved with her is literally going to drop you 6 feet under the ground. Han Feng is pretty shocked to run into her again like this. A little more background on his crush. Lee Hyuna has been his long-lost crush for 3 years straight. He played every trick in the book to get her to like him back, but deep down, our boy knew he was just a backup, if anything. And now, after what happened to him, after the way she deceived him and got him murdered in cold blood, he's pissed. Rage is filling up his body, but he's not the type to go ballistic on someone considering his situation of being reborn. Han Feng assures himself and calms him down, hoping to take his revenge properly some other time. For now, he's got some supplies to gather. Hyona shows concern for the guy, waving her hand in an effort to grab his attention because he appears spaced out. Trying his best to maintain politeness with her, he praises Hyona for being so beautiful that it stunned him for a bit. She calls him a smooth talker in return and thinks that it's a good opportunity to invite him out to go shopping. But even with her attempt, the girl gets straight up rejected as he moves past Hyona like she's not even worth paying attention to. This gives her a reality check so hard that she's lost for words. The reality is, Han Feng fully understands that she's only being so kind as to invite him so that she can use him as a personal bank for her own groceries. He's done being someone else's pet, so that won't happen anymore. The Waldemar Shopping Plaza is known to be the most well-stocked supermarket in the region. In the original timeline, the moment the Arctic apocalypse began, this place was cleaned up and emptied up in a single night. It's still unknown who managed to rob it like that, but for now, Han Feng's objective is to stock up as much as humanly possible. Being intelligent, he actually discovered a survival guide list to get all the stuff he needs. Stuff like food, winter clothing, medicine, necessities, fuel, and a whole bunch of other useful items. Well, while he's got a huge shopping list, there comes a second problem. Bro doesn't have enough money to do shit. While he's sulking, the guy receives a sudden message proving him eligible to grab a giant loan of 170,000 yuan for this year. It's just the lottery ticket he needed after all. Who the hell is going to repay debt during the apocalypse anyway? And so using all of the loan apps he could find on the internet, Han Feng began twiddling his fingers, making sure he got loans from everywhere. The scene switches to Hyona, who was pretty damn frustrated with the way he treated her today. This bitch is a stuck-up who can't get over the fact that her personal simp refused her like that. It tells you a lot about her personality, but I'm sure more didn't need to be said after she got the guy killed in his previous life. Hyona is cursing Han Feng for being a pathetic loser without a car and doesn't expect to be nice to him anytime in the future. Speaking of the devil, a car drives up to her and honks at her. Kiona's reaction is one of shock when she discovers that the driver is actually the same guy she was talking shit about. It's Han Feng. He drops by to talk to her, stating how he purchased the vehicle just now. After all, his father has been making a ton of money in the States, so it's only natural he sent over some cash for him to have fun with. He also tells her that he was busy taking his father to the airport. This fact actually cools her down, making her think that she was turned down because he had an important job to attend. She apologizes for asking him out during an important time. In usual Gaslighter Pro Max Girl Edition fashion, she acts cute while crying and complaining about how cruel he was. Han Feng's reaction is interesting to say the least. First, he calls her foolish, and then grabs her close, stating that he won't ever ditch someone like Hyona as she's far too important to him. The arrogant chick thinks that she scored the lottery, so she plays on his feelings again, hoping to manipulate him by saying that she feels the same way about him. She recommends watching a movie with him and having some nice dinner. But right as she's saying these things, our boy says, "Peace the fuck out," and is already tending to his luggage. He complains about how busy he is with the stuff he's got to take back. Even Hyuna is stupefied as to why he bought so much stuff out of the blue. In return, Han Feng plays it cool and says it's because he wanted to. To raise her expectations, he tells her that he also got Hyuna a present. Feeling all happy and bubbled up, she decides to head home, hoping to see it later. As she's leaving, Hyuna's got a really satisfied look on her face, thinking she killed that. But she doesn't know that our boy also shares the exact same look on his face. They're both manipulating the other, and it just so happens that he is never going to let out the secrets of his stockpile. It's the one ticket he's got of surviving this damned apocalypse. When that moment comes, when the world sinks into despair and destruction, Han Feng fully intends to take his revenge on the bastard who killed him as well as Hyuna. He also confesses that it's making him eager to enjoy the apocalypse this time. Yeah. Something tells me Hyuna's about to eat shit, and it's going to be really damn satisfying when that happens.